we're going to have to get the mindset that this thing is not about what the eyes can see. A great story is that about Barnabas. This was a brother who was blind from birth. But he heard the voice, and he believed with the faith, and he received with that faith. So we're gonna have to just get out of this thing about black and white people. But I understand that we've been conditioned so that unconsciously this is the way we feel. We want to be, as a lot alludes to, the chosen one. I know y'all brothers heard that before. We're the chosen people. If you have not been redeemed, you're not the chosen people. He said, let the redeemed say so. What do he mean by that? Let the redeemed say so. If you feel that you are worthy to be called a son, and you have been blessed in that fashion, it becomes your job to share that with whoever you come in contact with. Whoever you come in contact with. Not just those that do you right, but those that do you wrong too. He said, love your enemies. How are you going to do that though? By knowing that in loving your enemies, you might be able to convert them to love somebody else. It's a chain effect. Love is love. Love cannot be denied entirely. It may be rejected for a moment, but at the point of consciousness with selfness, it comes to remembrance. I was shown love, and it felt good. It felt good. So let me embrace somebody else with that love. That's what we need to start doing. And we need to be more conscious about the blackness. The blackness has a tendency to conceal the truth. Some of our laws is predicated on blackness. What I mean by that, it don't reveal itself because it's subject to change without notice. It was a law that we couldn't fellowship like this because there was those that was in a position that would come and actually literally kill you. But it was law. Who law? Man's law. Man's law. See, sometimes man's law, just like Martin Luther King alluded to, sometimes man's law must be denied. There are ordinances that is clearly discriminatory. It's clear, but they're on the books. And they can utilize them whenever they get ready. Especially here in this state of Indiana. Don't be deceived. Indiana is the #1 black state. They're the #1 black state. Their laws is designed to keep order. To keep order. So that's my take on that black thing. There is no such thing. What it is a black lie. That's what it is. It's a black lie. Thank you.
But let me ask you about that. Okay, now you mentioned that that the law, for example, of how they all the laws, most of the laws that on African descendants, it was all based on skin color. And one way to uplift your group is by creating a bond within those who look like you or who are the same race as you, race as defined by the early Americans as they created the different categories of people, but nevertheless, they created these categories, but you have to find strength someplace. So as long as we say that there's no blackness, doesn't that cause us not to have strength?
No, I don't agree with that because your strength lies in your belief. I believe that my Father, my Heavenly Father, gives me all the strength I need. He has everything, so why would I worry about those things of materialistic value? I mean, myself, for instance, I had the American dream. The American dream consists of, as far as I am concerned, money, your own business, a nice automobile, perhaps a family, a wife. Those are the American dream. Property. I had all those things. I had all those things at a very early age. But it meant nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy material things, but those are not the things that's going to sustain you when your health fails you. Those are not the things that are going to sustain you when it's time for your judgment. So I believe that's what my father means when he said, build your treasures up on high. See, a lot of us, and that goes back to that 501c3 thing, a lot of us, we're getting caught up on materialistic possessions. Even in the spiritual realm, we're doing things that we wouldn't normally do because we're being hoodwinked, unbeknown to us. There's a lot of things there. You know, I always reflect on when I was called into my ministry. There were certain things that certain people didn't want me to do that I was accustomed to and that I see no wrong in doing, and I chose to do those things. So I was more or less, I was to be disciplined. I refused to be disciplined by someone who didn't call me to do what I was doing. And the reason why I say that, sometimes you might have to lose your job. You might have to lose some things to stand up for righteousness. But if you stand up for righteousness, I guarantee you, whatever you lose, he will double it for you. I lost so much material things, but within that instance, those material things was back there. I mean, the material things, we got to stop getting involved in with this glamorization that we see on television, and you know, that stuff there, it deters the truth of issues.
But the truth of issues is determined by the one who's making the advertisement.
I mean, I understand advertisers wholeheartedly. I mean, business is what it is. But you got to perceive in your mind what it is you're going to receive, because you can't receive all of it. Some of that stuff you receive, it is poison.
But let me ask you this, but due to the brainwashing that we have gone through since slavery, are we intellectually equipped to be to judge that? I mean, a lot of people use the evaluative criterion of things that their friends have. I mean, they pretty much go along with the flow, and they justify what they have based on what's around them.
Well, that is true. That's why, you know, a lot of people must be conscious of what, for a better term, the word or the name Uncle Tom really means. Uncle Tom is what they would call that house guy, the guy in the house that looks over the, you know, the flock and reports. But what Uncle Tom failed to realize, that one day he was going to be back out there with that flock. See, so you got to be mindful of the things that you let consume you to be a servant to. It behooves everyone to be a servant to God, because he's not going to do anything that is going to demote peace, should I say. God is all about prosperity and peace. And I'm not trying to sound what they call religious, because this is not a religious thing. This is a faith thing. This is what I believe.
All right, now we're heading into Black History Month. So how do you, since there's going to be a lot of messages for these next 28, 29 days of trying to build the pride and esteem within the African descendants. And some question the effectiveness of this time period to do that, because I think it's pretty much a fact that we can use that kind of a transfusion, you know, to give us more reasons to keep our head up high. But then the philosophical foundation of that might be flawed a little bit too.
Yes, I believe this is true, but nevertheless, Black History Month should be just that. Black History Month, focusing on those dark issues that caused this separation, caused this division, caused these wars, if you would have it. Black History Month. Now,
wars among black people, even themselves.
No. War among people, period. Because if you remember now, during that struggle was people. It wasn't no black thing. It was a righteous thing. There was all kinds of people there. There was white people, red people, Mexican people, Jews, Gentile. Everybody was there because everybody was being affected by this evil. Evil don't have no color. It's good and dandy that, hey, you got 30 days to talk about some black issues, but you got 365 days to talk about the real issue, which is who gives you the breath. See? You need to talk about him every day, because that African history or whatever, that February is going to come every year. But his breath going to come as long as he show favor in you. and show his mercy and grace towards you. That's what we need to concentrate on. Don't concentrate on isolating yourself, because to me, that's the most discriminatory month on the calendar.
Why?
Because it singles out. It separates from. The same thing that we fought so hard for, that's the thing that we run back to in February. It's ludicrous.
But now at the same time now, the rest of the months, for a long time, the schools only taught about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, and they denied everybody else.
That goes back to the beginning basic. It says, if you're hungry, eat at home first. Do you follow what I'm saying? Eat at home first. What that means, get your house in order. Don't worry about the schools. Because I remember back in the days, now the school was the place. We had PTA meetings and everybody supported it. The parents was there. I mean, it was a great thing. Our neighborhood had the most beautiful and the most exhilarating schools around. But old Caesar came into that too. Ward was the #1 academic school in this city. They couldn't wait to destroy that. Now it's a prison. But they say it's a place where people can go and get themselves together. No, it's a prison. Try visiting. It is actually a prison.